Most psychologists treat the mind as disembodied, a phenomenon with little or no connection to the physical body. Conversely, physicians treat the body with no regard to the mind or the emotions. But the body and mind are not separate, and we cannot treat one without the other. Very warm good morning to one and all present over here. Now, I take this opportunity to welcome our respected principal, Dr. E. Jerome Javier, Indian Academy Degree College Autonomous, who is the motivational force in conducting such events. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And also request you to introduce the topic and the resource person, Dr. Jayalakshmi, to the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, dear participants. I'm glad that many of you have responded to our invitation for a webinar on psychoneuroimmunology, mind impacts on health. Psychoneuroimmunology, shortly known as PNI, is also referred to psychoendoneuroimmunology, EN, which is a study of interaction between psychological process and the nervous and immune systems of human body. Communication between these systems is complex. PNA is important, although relatively new field that links solid research to our understanding of mind-body connections. Way back in 1975, Robert Adler and Nicholas Cohen at the University of Rochester advanced PNI with their demonstration of classic conditioning of immune function, and they consequently coined the term psychoneuroimmunology. Today, we will be enlightened on this topic with an eminent personality in the field of immunology. Before I introduce the resource person, I would like to extend the most hearty welcome to the members of Indian Academy Education Trust, the chairman, the secretary, the COO, members of the faculty, and you, my dear participants, and a very, very special way, a most hearty and warm welcome to Dr. Jayalakshmi, Professor of Immunology in the School of Biological Sciences of Madurai Kamaraj University. A hearty welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Let me introduce briefly the resource person for the day. I would like to begin by saying we have a professor with a golden touch. Of course, if she permits me, I should call her as Golden Lady. It is not beyond exaggeration because throughout her life, she has been achieving gold medal. At the BSc, she is the first rank holder in the MS University Tirunelveli. At MSc, again first rank with gold medal, and MPhil first rank with gold medal. And in addition to that, in Madurai Kamaraj University, she has again received gold medal for Innovative Teaching Award. Congratulations to the resourceful golden lady of this webinar. Madam, thank you for being with us. Madam has completed her BSc, MSc and MPhil at, of course, Holy Cross College, but it is affiliated to MS University, which is in Tirunelveli. Having completed her PhD in immunology, she has gone ahead and done her postdoctoral studies with Raman Postdoctoral Fellow at UCSF, California, United States of America. In addition to her academic credentials, Madam is indeed a true academician and a great research scholar. She has delivered 75 talks in various conferences at the national and international levels. She is a member in Inspire Science Camp sponsored by DST Government of India. She has participated in 30 international conferences, 40 national conferences, and published 25 papers in the international peer-reviewed journals and 23 as corresponding author, which speaks volume of her contribution to the field of higher education, particularly in terms of research to the field of immunology in general biology. Ma'am has authored 4 chapters in various books that has been published in the field of biology. In addition to all, I strongly believe and I'm convinced ma'am is a team worker. I think she walks along with a team of research scholars because I'm told her team members are working in understanding the importance of NK cell receptor KR, gene polymorphism and its ligand HLA, infectious diseases, autoimmunodiseases, and cancer. Ma'am they have collected a cohort of all these studies from the South Indian population of 1,500 individuals. Further, her team is also studying immune associated with genes and nutritional factors in general population contributing to disease resistances. Ma'am, it is certainly an honor for all of us, particularly the participants who have joined us this morning to listen to your expertise in the field of immunology, molecular diagnostics, animal virology, and human health and diseases. I understand these are the fields in which you are an expertise. We are glad and delighted to have such an outstanding personality in the field of immunology who is the right person to speak on PNI, psychoneuroimmunology, mind impacts on health. Over to you, Dr. Jayalakshmi. And once again, I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Indian Academic Degree College Autonomous. Thank you for joining us. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you, sir. It was an extended welcome, and really I'm very much fortunate to be with you all for this particular session. And yeah, no one has explained this elaborately. And actually, I attended one of your session earlier conducted by your college. I participated, yeah, and it was really well organized. And so when I got an invitation from your side, I accepted it. And so it will be really my motto will be to educate and to tell some good message to the society. Yeah, so it is not only just subject oriented. I want to give some message to the society. So that's why I have chosen this particular topic even. So let me come to the topic straight away. Yeah, I thank all the organizers for once again giving me this opportunity to be connected with you through the online mode, right? And yes. So is my slide visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you very much. And so as I said, it was a pleasure to join with you in this. And the outline of my particular talk for today will be, I will be giving a little bit of background for the need for this topic. and then I will be introducing the students to immune system, what they are familiar with, but let me once again introduce them. And then about stress and about, stress is a word now even a small kid tries to tell, and anyone the word is very familiar. It has become a part of our vocabulary. And but however, we should appreciate positive stress, that is the commitment. So we should differentiate positive stress from negative stress. And rather than using the term positive stress, I am going to tell it as commitment, call it as commitment, right? And further, coming to the topic, it will be about there is a, now the immune system is being called or being introduced as sixth senses. So we are all familiar that we have five senses. So what everyone is learning from the kindergarten itself, we are starting to learn about all the five senses, but now we have the immune system as the sixth sense. So as you have elaborately explained the psychoneuroimmunology, so the stress causes illness and it has some, immune system has some effect on it. So we will be discussing about that. And also I will be concluding with a take home message, how we can overcome those stress, as well as how the immune system can be boosted up, and how what can be done to come out successfully. Okay. So to the background, if I tell the statement, this particular statement, no one can help our body other than us, everybody of you will agree with me, because our body is the permanent address where we live in. So we may be having or holding so many positions and responsibilities. Those positions and responsibilities will be only with us for some time. And after that, who is going to be with us? Not even our children or our life partners or our parents. Only our health is very important. So it is our asset, it is our liability, which no one else actually can share. Even though due to some illness, somebody can care for us, but this is an asset, real asset. So we should be very fit and try to be fit forever. So what we can do, it's with the with certain limitations, all of it is actually possible. We should contribute something to that. So what we should do is, we should actually take care of ourselves. Money comes and go, relatives and friends, they are actually not permanent, and no one can help our body other than us. So until we live or we try to breathe our last breath, we should have a healthy life. So for that, we should be doing something, what we can do. So we can, there are so many things to be done. So that is the pranayama for the lungs, that is the deep breathing, that is nothing but nothing related to any religious beliefs or nothing. So you have the pranayama, it is a deep breathing, take in, breathe in, breathe out exercises. Then you can just sit down and meditate for mind. But I read an article saying that everybody will be telling meditation is really good for mind, but it is actually not good for people with negative mindset. If for those people who are having negative mindset, what happens is this will multiply, this will be multiplying when the negative things will be multiplying. So first we should inculcate positive thinking in us, and then next we can go for the meditation. And we should do definitely exercise. And exercise is nothing, somebody, it is not like as shown in the televisions, or it's not that hard. Whatever very simple things you can do, your household work, or just a small you have to move your body parts, that's the exercise. And then walking is actually good for heart. Some of the homemakers will be telling, yeah, I am walking too long inside my house itself, I am running here and there for my husband, for my children, for that particular sake I am running, rushing here and there. Will it that be sufficient? No, that is not going to be sufficient. You have to walk without doing any other activities, and the heartbeat should be maintained at a particular beats per minute, and that is actually good for the heart. And we should take good food for the intestines. We have been gifted with the entire a very gifted body by God, and so we should take good food for intestines. That should not be considered as a dustbin. Whatever thing we want, we can take. No, it's not like that. We should take good food. That is going to do good. And then good thoughts for the soul. As a soul, even if everything is okay, if our mind is not good, if our soul is not good, and then we are feeling upset. So good thoughts are essential for the soul, and good deeds are essential for the world. We should do something good, so it is essential for the world. And so in this particular image, you will be seeing the two just a minute. Okay, you are seeing two images. One is a flower, and the other is these are potatoes. So this picture was sent by my friend. Like she is living in Canada. She has actually posted this images. They have only a particular time period, or 4 to 5 months for the sun is available for them. Or all other times they are having completely, it is snow filled. And when they have snow, they can't grow any garden or any plants. But I am sure your Bangalore is gifted climate, and you will be having plenty of flowers like that. And still doing a small part of gardening will give you all these things together. Yes, it is actually an exercise. It is actually a good, it will give you good thoughts. It is actually you are doing something good, and it is refreshing for your mind and body. Okay, so we are having 11 major organ systems in our system, in our human body. You can classify it as integumentary, skeletal, muscular, nervous system, endocrine system, lymphatic system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, as well as the reproductive system. So many systems are there. And if you put a debate over who is the best, everybody will be having some point or the other, telling one or the other particular organ, depending upon their field or their interest, they may be sharing. But today, for your kind information, I am going to share with you the importance of the immune system, endocrine system, as well as the nervous system. So these systems are very essential, and they are all coordinated together. That is the main point here. Okay, that is the main point. So their coordination is very essential. So in the intro itself, I told you we have 5 senses. So they are vision, touch, hearing, smell, and taste. And the 6th sense is our immune system. And just for you to just for one minute of exercise, I am giving you. Just you can list out now. You just turn around you and see 5 things that you can see. Okay, so this is a small simple exercise, mind calming exercise. So you have to see 3 things what you can see. Then you can list out 4 things that you can feel. That you feel is maybe your the dress what you are wearing, the table where you are placing your hands, or somebody is very near to you. So whatever you feel, okay, touch and feel. Then 3 things you can hear. Now you are able to hear what I am actually speaking to you. Then you are able to listen to some maybe the noise of the fan, or you will be able to hear the breeze, or you will be sometimes fortunate to listen to the voice of birds like that. Yeah, so some small mammals like that. So you are able to hear few things, and you can smell 2 things. Okay, it may be the perfume what you have used today, or what your friend is using today, or your the some of the your room freshener, any smell you can feel. Then you can think of a taste for today. Okay, now you can, if you are doing it, this is a exercise for reducing the anxious moment. If at all you are very anxious at a particular time, you can just calm down. If I tell, okay, concentrate your mind, it will be difficult. So you list out all these five, you will be able to normally slow down and calm down. Okay, so this is a one exercise. And another is, this is going to, at least we all are having able to yeah, fortunate to have all these senses. So we should be really thankful. Okay, so for having this. And next, the sixth sense I told is the immune system. It is actually communicating through a language. It is communicating through a particular language. Yes, and what it is actually doing, the immune system and nervous system speak a common biochemical language and communicate via a complete bidirectional circuit involving shared ligands such as neurotransmitters, hormones, as well as the cytokines. Okay, so they are communicating with each other via various factors, biological factors, and they are responding to the stressors, physical stressors they are responding. So yeah, this is a very important slide. Whenever I am discussing with the students or introducing the topic of immune system to the students, I will be sharing the slide. So this is the in the left hand side, you can see a imaginary perfect world. Okay, all human beings are very happy when all the pathogens are far away from them. But the real world is not like that. In the real world, we are all actually living with, along with the pathogens, and including corona. Can you see? I picked up corona also here now. Everybody, as everyone is very familiar to this small RNA virus. Okay, so this is a real world where we are living. So definitely we are tending to get so many diseases, but always we don't get, even though the pathogens are present almost everywhere. So this picture, you can see the dispersal of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Since it is an airborne infectious disease, so it is actually spreading throughout. And if in a particular crowd, if a person is coughing, what happens? It will be continuously spreading throughout. As the diseases, only they are not infectious. Your smile, what you are showing today, is also really infectious. Somebody can catch it like a flu. In general, when there are some talks, if at all, if someone is introducing with a strict face, someone is speaking, or someone is introducing, how you will also feel the same. But if you are smiling, your opponent will also try to smile. Or you are traveling in a bus, you are purchasing a ticket from the conductor, and if you are smiling at him, he is also going to smile back to you. For 90% sure you can be. And just smile to the next person who is sitting near you. These days, these smileys are really difficult because we are actually tending to cover it with mask. But still, if we are smiling, the other person will also smile. So there are different emoticons or smileys, and expression patterns are shown. I hope everyone will like this smile. Yes, it is really infectious, and we can smile and let that particular infection spread along. Yes, and the previous picture I showed you the real world, what is there. And in the real world, even though people are living in contaminated environment, not all the infected develop the disease. Okay, so people are being exposed to the various pathogenic organisms, but they are not being exposed to, they are not developing the disease. So how can you explain this? You can explain this with a very beautiful picture, that is the lotus and the cactus model, which is being explained in the paper. Not all the infected develop the disease, and a lotus and cactus model by my professor R.M. Pichappan. And this picture or image tells you, if there you have a lotus seed, and if you put it in the pond, what will happen? It will try to grow. Yeah, it will try to grow. And yes, now actually in my cupboard, one of my friend has given me a lotus seed along with the sand. I am storing it in my cupboard. I am expecting to have a small tank, and in the tank we filled with water and mud. If I am aiming to plant it, if I sow the seed, what will happen? If there is mud as well as the water, then the lotus will start to grow and it will bloom one day. How beautiful it will be, what a nice scenic approach it will be. So similar way, if you have a cactus, if I am planting it in a tank filled with water, it is not going to grow. We should have a desert kind of setup, or a little, very less water I should pour for it to make it grow well. So like this is I am comparing this, the sand or the pond to our, what is it, to our human cis body, and the seed as the pathogens. When the seed lands to their respective environment, they are actually growing to grow. If they are identifying their respective environment, their suitable environment, they will tend to grow. Okay. But however, even if it is landing, in what success it is growing is depending upon our immune system, what we are having. So all of us are having a very established, well-established surveillance systems, and every second of every minute of every day, a battle of good and evil goes inside our body. Whether we notice or not, as we breathe, this process is also going on. So the good is the immune system, and the armies are the cells that are actually designed to protect the body from illness as well as the infection. The evil comes from in the form of pathogens, viruses, bacteria, and altered cells that compromise our health. And so our immune system we are having a set of well-organized tissues that will be protecting us from the diseases. And those organ systems, you can classify it as primary lymphoid organs as well as the secondary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs are actually the places where the immune cells are being formed, and the secondary lymphoid organs are the places where the encounter of the pathogen takes place with this immune cells. So as we are having in the right side, you can see the innervation of kind of image, and that is the lymphatic vessels. Okay, the green colored ones are the lymphatic vessels, and the small thick nodule kind of things are called as the lymph nodules. So the lymph nodules are entirely distributed throughout the body, and at the joints and the definite portals of entries, there are more joint accumulations or more nodular accumulations there. So that is actually considered as the battle yard, and there the war between the pathogens is happening. So that is the reason, if I am getting a cut in the fingertip, the next day or the further day, you cannot I cannot raise my hand, because in the underarm region I will find painful accumulation, and that is the indication that I am trying to be healed from the pathogens that got entry through the infection site, and so they are making entry. So the stress is actually both psychological as well as the physical, and stress is the now I'm switching over to the next aspect, that is the stress. It is both psychological and physical, and it is the central issue and is defined as the general body response to initially threatening external or internal demands. So stress can be acute or chronic, and managing stress is an important ability to learn, and that supporting those in stressful situations is really very important. Does stress affect our body? Of course, it does. So a stressful situation can lead to a physical reaction, which is actually known as the stress response. And when this happens, the brain releases a warning message to the muscles and the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are responsible for releasing the stress hormones such as the adrenaline as well as the cortisol. In that moment, a mechanism of response to stress starts in our body. Therefore, we experience our heart starts beating faster. There is a rise in our blood pressure and our breath accelerates. These reactions are known as fight or flight response. Okay. If at all a snake is coming and I have to run away from that, the adrenaline is going to be helpful. And so these events should in nature it has been designed to escape from the dangerous situations or threats. But those kind of physical threats are now very less to us, but other kinds of social stresses are too much on us. It is the system has been imposing too much of social stress on us than the physical stresses. So experiencing stress is not rare, but if it is not well managed, it can lead to physical or mental damage. So stress can be really damaging if it is untreated. It can become as chronic stress if it is not reversed on time. So reversing the stress is very essential. Without stress, if a person is there, there will be no growth for a particular person. There should be stress, and that stress should be dealt in a proper way. And that should be a kind of positive stress or commitment. And we should try to achieve our job or position, and that will be good, and not the other negative stresses. Among them, they carry actually a series of health consequences. Among them, we find insomnia, that is the sleep deprivation, then anxiety, muscle pain, high blood pressure, and weakened immune system. So the other aspects, everybody might have been discussed about other aspects of stress. Yeah, blood pressure, mostly what they will tell, blood pressure will elevate. Yes. In addition to this, we have a weakened immune system. However, it can also lead to depression, heart disease, as well as the obesity if it is being allowed to be as a chronic one. The important to take stress serious, you should and start changing some of our actions in order to prevent it. So it is very essential for us to do that. So to put in a nutshell, you can see the stress imposes risk on heart rate as well as the blood pressure, the impact on stress hormones as well as the immune processes, and there is the disturbance of the digestive system. Yeah, just thank you. So when these all is being increased, it will lead to increased risk of the diseases. So how we are dealing with stress, that is the point. Now everybody should think about the stress is actually universal, but we can call it as a commitment, and that is the positive stress. Let me, as a biologist, let me just check what the how animals are handling the stress. There are so many studies which are being done on the wild animals, how they are handling the stress. So wild animals, they should always stay alive by staying alert and agile, but their survival doesn't stand a chance without a healthy stress response. And a snowshoe hare in the wild leads a stressful life, liable to become someone's dinner at any moment. But unlike humans, they don't develop ulcers, heart disease, or depression. So those animals are having the stress continuously, but they are not developing the they are not developing this particular diseases like what human beings are getting. So the person, Dr. Rudy Boons, he has contributed much to the field of stress response, and he has told, what he has told is human beings are mulling over the things. We are brooding over the things, and we know the future and think about the past, often continuously, so forgetting the present. So when we do that, when we are always in thoughts of the future as well as the past, that is actually increasing the stress. This kind of stress response he hasn't noticed in the cases of small mammals. He hasn't noticed. So there are some experimental studies which are being done by inducing stress. So in animals, in laboratory animals, what they have, they are designing various experimental setup, and to give the stress, that is the acute exposure to electric shocks, social defeat, maternal separation, then rotation, the order of the stressed conspecific, how you will feel really if you are being if this mouse is being kept, and its conspecific or the predatory animal is the cat, and if the pheromone of the cat is kept inside the cat is actually not there in the cage, but if the pheromone that comes from the cat is being kept in the cage, what happens? Then immersion in cold water, restraint, handling, and intraperitoneal injection of saline, and loud noise, all those have been shown to suppress some aspects of the immunity. Yes. And just to put in a simple way, there can be various definitions for stress, but stress is actually the inability to decide what is important, and we are not able to setting the priorities, and it's really really the person who is being under stress, they can't set the priority what to do first and then what next and next. So that is the thing what we are losing. So this stress, having this stress, if you are holding this stress in our system, if some small incidents happen, the person will burst out. So that is actually not good. We should have some adaptive measures to come out or bring down this stress. So how can we reduce the stress? We can dance it out, we can go for a walk, we can talk about it, we can breathe, we can go to the bed earlier, we can actually focus on what we can control, we can recall about good times. Yes, anybody has some good times, right? That may be your school days or college days, or the days you have spent with your parents or friends, like that. So you can recall those things, you can get a hug from your friend, and you can smile. That is a very simple thing. By doing all these things, we can reduce the stress. So whenever there is a stress, always we should think this will also pass out. It will not definitely going to stand out for a long time. So with that thought, we can just go and proceeding on. So the disease is actually a complex interaction. So as a genetics students, you will be knowing that the human genetics is also responsible. I myself study the immunogenetics. So we are telling that the host immune system, the genetics of the immune system is also responsible. The immune response genes is responsible. So that is a reason. Then the significant contributor will be the pathogen, whether it is a virulent or non-virulent one, as well as the environment where we are living in. So all these things, there is a complex interaction and the disease occurs. The The stress imposes effect on the central nervous system, and this in turn will have also effect on the endocrine system as well as the immune system, and all these things are interconnected by some signaling molecules, and thereby the stress is being aggravated. Okay, so this now I have introduced you to the immune system, and then further what is the stress. And now coming to P&I, which is psychoneuroimmunology, is the study of interactions between the behavior of the brain and the immune system. This is a fully fledged interdisciplinary area, and actually the stress can induce illness, and that can conversely a fun-filled occasion. If a person is spending some time with a friend, that can actually release or smooth out the things. And this PNI has deep implications for the future of medical research, the treatment of diseases, and our attitude towards handling stress. So when you students are doing your project work, as if permitted, you can take up small exercises along, or you can check what is the effect of the stress that is actually having, and definitely I am sure it is going to have. As in the introduction itself, it was well pointed out, Robert Adler, he is considered as the father of modern immunology. And Adler, he was a psychologist. He actually worked closely with Nicholas Colin, an immunologist. So a perfect combination joined together to come out with the birth of a new branch of science, that is the PNI. And this tells about the brain is talking continuously to the immune system. For many years, the immune system was considered as a standalone autonomous mechanism, but the brain speaks regularly and powerfully to the cells of the immune system, and vice versa. So the hypothalamic pituitary axis, which we will be appreciating in our endocrinology classes, which is very essential. The hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, all these three axes, and the impact on the psychological stress on this network is very vital. So the stress is modulating immune response. This has been studied with shown with meta-analysis. So what is meta-analysis? Independent studies by different authors will be combined, and likewise more than 300 studies has been combined together, and they have checked and they have told, yeah, definitely for sure the stress is having or altering the immune system. They have actually compared brief stressors, short-time stressors like exams, with chronic stress events like that change a person's entire life, like caring for a partner with dementia. And these brief stresses, they are tending to suppress the cellular immunity. This cellular immunity, that has been taking place with the help of the cells of the immune system, and that is mostly the T cells, and while preserving the humoral immunity. But the chronic stressors tends to suppress both types of immunity. What is meant by chronic stress? If there is a stress more than 6 months, and this is suppressing both type of immunity, that is the cellular immunity as well as the humoral immunity. That is, in other ways, it is the antibody mediated immunity. Just think of the major disease episodes of you or the persons whom you know have experienced. So definitely it will have a stress association. The children will be getting catching flus or infectious diseases during the exams, and if there is a major setback, changes in the family, some cardiovascular diseases are happening, and not always every time it is present, but sometimes it is also a imaginary one too, and that is actually happening. And there is a beautiful movie, Sometimes. That movie, the name is Sometimes, and it is going to describe about the people, some 7 people who are actually waiting for their HIV positivity status. They have given the blood sample to be tested, by ELISA, and they are waiting to find out whether they are positive, and that they are of different age group, and with various family backgrounds they are. Further, in the final one, they want to know the earlier results of them, so they will be bribing the receptionist. When they are doing that, the lady, she couldn't get the exact results, so she will just tell everybody is negative except one. Then their question is, who is the one? The result is will be given in the evening. One by one, everybody is being delivered with the result, and everyone tells, I am negative, I am negative, I am negative, I am negative, and happily they are moving out from the place. But the last person who is to receive the result, he doesn't know his status, true status, but he assumes that he's actually positive to HIV, and what he will do is, he will not go to collect the result. Without that, he will try to faint down there itself and die, and that is the effect of really the stress or the imaginary stress. So this stress is weakening the immune system. So this stress elevates the adrenaline, cortisol levels, and depletes the nutrient stores and compromises the immune system. It will lead to low-grade chronic inflammation, and now the body will struggle to fight infection, repair, as well as recover. And this will causes the damage to the body tissues and organs at cellular levels, and triggers further the stress response. So these all are interconnected. These are all interconnected. Okay. So if a person, if a person is having a particular level of immune functioning, at the onset of the stress, the what happens? The immune function will go high immediately, and when it is being prolonged, it will drastically come down in the cases of the chronic stresses. So this is going to tend and the cause the damage. So this has been seen in the cases of the reactivation of latent viral infections. So certain viral infections, they will not be expressed all on a sudden when they are infecting a person, because our immune system is highly capable of defeating that virus. So but the virus is also clever too. It will go and hide in certain places. At low numbers they are hiding. When our system gets weakened, then they will shoot up. So those kind of diseases, such as the Epstein-Barr virus occurrence, all those things, they have seen in the during the exams of medical college students. So medical college students, they are experiencing stressful examinations. At those times, their reactivation of the viruses will be occurring. Otherwise, until that time, it has been remained in a latent stage. So our experiences with the HIV/AIDS patients, so we have studied the role of natural killer cell receptors in the HIV/AIDS patients. By that time, what we did was, we collected the samples from the more than 700 individuals of HIV infection, and depending upon their date of diagnosis, we could split them into different groups, like such as the slow progressors of the disease and rapid progressors of the disease, as well as you have long-term non-progressors of the disease. So what is meant by long-term non-progressors? Those individuals who are infected with HIV, but they are not progressing to the HIV state, as because they have a good immune system, and this kind of long-term non-progressors and slow progressors of the disease, we could see in the case of the females. More of the females were having the high CD4 counts were there noticed. And this picture is just, I took it from an internet source. I haven't given my picture, but however the graph is our data, from our data, and it shows that the female, they are having high CD4 count. Why? Because there may be
Audience, there is
they are,
introduction. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, carry on.
yeah, yes, ma'am.
Network issue was there, so that
Okay, and now it's
so
solved.
continue. Now we can able to hear you.
Okay, okay, ma'am. And so then we could see that this this people or this women, they were young, and they were having harboring the CD4 count to be at a higher level, because this is considered as a prognostic marker of the status of HIV infection. Okay, so this women were and another reason was they were emotionally, they wanted to live for the sake of their children. So when they wanted to have that um, are making the persons slow and progressing to the disease. Okay, and we published it in the journal AIDS. And the next part will be, I'm going to tell about the happiness, which is considered as the best medicine. In 1964, Norman Cousins, he was a person who got diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, and it is actually an autoimmune disease. Then the doctor said the chance of recovery is very less. So what he did was, he didn't believe the statement that is not going to recover. He considered that he will take some alternative treatments, such as what treatment he mostly did was, he was on laugh therapy, and he was watching the films which were like of more funny films he was watching, and he was leading a happy life. Afterwards he got recovered from that, and later the entire funds what he had, he established a center for psychoneuroimmunology at University of California, UCLA at Los Angeles. He has contributed. Okay, so there so many studies are being done from this center, and one study is the immune response genes are being studied in lonely versus sociable persons. You can see a lonely person, that is they generally live lonely, or some people even live in group but they tend to have a lonely life. They, in their mindset, they are actually lonely. And some people are sociable, even though they are living alone, they have social relationships with others. Also they take part in so many events. When the gene, their expression was looked into, people could see there is a differential gene expression. Okay, differential gene expression was seen, and this gene expression was upregulated in certain aspects and downregulated in certain aspects. Let me explain you with that of the lonely person. This in this lonely persons, the inflammatory response genes, they got upregulated, and the antiviral response genes, they got downregulated. The vice versa was seen in this case of the sociable genes persons. So how can you, what you can do to this? So they could see meditation given for this particular persons. It changed the gene expression profiles. Okay, it could change the gene expression profiles in these particular persons. So the shift between the inflammatory response as well as the antiviral response can be achieved with the help of meditation courses. Okay. And there is another experiment, classical experiment, which was done with the case of the breast cancer women who were suffering. Some N 200 individuals were chosen, and they were split into two groups. One group, they attended just one day educational seminar on breast cancer, and another group, they attended a 10 weeks stress management program after their breast cancer diagnosis. After that, after this entire course, then they checked for the gene expression profiling, and they could see the inflammation and metastasis genes. They were, it was much down regulated in the cases of the people who attended the 10 weeks program. Okay, for them it got. So the group one, they could give the meditation, and this is actually a chance of helping in the chance of recovery. Okay, so we know the pillars of inflammation, the redness, swelling, pain, heart, heat generation, these are all seen in the cases of the cancer as well. So this will be reduced, and in the cases of the people who are participating in the meditation programs. So these are the benefits of happiness, and based on the benefit of happiness, you can classify as two broad categories of happiness. That is a eudaimic way of happiness, and then the other is the hedonic way of happiness. Eudaimic way of happiness, just a classical example is people who are live with small resources but they are very happy. And hedonic way is who by the way of purchases they are becoming happy. So this people, if the eudaimic way of living is really good, and that is actually doing good to the genes of our system, immune system, rather than the hedonic way, whoever is living just getting the happiness by shopping kind of thing. However, there should be there should be a balance in life between the eudaimic and as well as the hedonic way of living. And further, finally, this outcome will be the good one. So there should be always a maintaining in balance. So you should be happy with what you have, but you should not forget to taste small simple things, like if you want to taste ice cream, or if you want to taste a chocolate, or if you want to just go for a walk, just enjoy it. Okay, so next, there are some references I am showing to you. Since it is a new field of research, just to tell, there are so many interesting articles from well-renowned publishers, and including the trends in immunology and current opinion in psychology as well. And finally, to the coming to the take-home message, what we can do is we have to reduce the stress to live a happy life as well as to have a healthy immune system. What we can do, we can make time with ourselves. We should help recharge our batteries. Then we can share our problems. We can stay connected with friends. We can keep moving, doing some exercises. They are actually the natural mood boosters. And we can try mindfulness exercise, and we can smile. Really, it is infectious. Some small, simple points or tricks to boost your immune system naturally. All of us have a surveillance system within us. We should believe that. We should not hide ourselves from the sun to get enough vitamin D. We should do exercise and stay physically fit. We should take only adequate rest. Taking too much of rest is also not good for the health. We should get involved in hobbies. We should take some healthy food sources like traditional food of your locality. You should make your plate colorful. Remember this, you should make your plate colorful whenever you are having some food. It should be supplemented with fruits, vegetables, as well as the greens. You should have control over your salt, sugar, oil, polished grains, as well as the processed food. And then do not forget traditional medicines such as the spices. And we should work. The work will relieve from all mental ailments. We can sweat out our worries really. So we can do the exercise. We can spend a 5 minutes extra for shower. That is going to do really good. All of us are having taking our bath very quick, very soon. And if we are giving an extra 5 minutes, that is really going to help. And we should have a contented life. Live your best, forgive yourself, and you should others as well, you should forgive. We can reduce the stress. It is really only imaginary. We should stay positive and connected with the omnipresent God, as well as the near and the dear ones. We should help others in possible ways. So you are helping yourself. You should count your blessings. You should keep learning. This is very important. It is for teachers as well for students. We should keep learning. And what you can do to stimulate your immune system or activate it, we can just do some simple exercise. We can hold a child's pose for 2 minutes. We can take a break for every 1 hour. Then we can, so you are all in your online classes, hope I believe. So during your online classes, when you finish a class, you can take a break, get a cup of water and drink, and it is going to help. You should really wait for 3 to 4 hours between each meals, and dumping too much is not going to do good. So let me finish with what I have started with. So you can do the grounding exercise if we are facing some anxious moments. The focus on deep senses and take breath, and you can follow the 5 4 3 2 1 rule. So what is it? 5 things that you can see, 4 things that can be heard, 3 things that you can touch, 2 things that can be smelled, and 1 thing that can be tasted. Finally, we should give gratitude to our body for having or permitting us for all these senses. And finally, I would like to thank you, and also I would like to acknowledge my alma maters, where I gain my all my knowledge or whatever positive aspects what I have shared with you. So I would like to thank them, my all my teachers as well. And yeah, thank you one and all. And we can have discussions. Yes, now.
On behalf of Department of Genetics, Indian Academy Degree College Autonomous, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Dr. Jayalakshmi for her enlightening and mind-provoking talk on the topic Psychoneuroimmunology, Mind Impacts on Health. We appreciate having this mysterious area clarified, which have prompted us to visualize the topic from new perspective. The interconnection between mind and the immune system are explained very elegantly. We will follow your take-home message to overcome this pandemic situation. The session was very much informative. Thank you once again, Dr. Jayalakshmi, for accepting our invitation and to have shared your knowledge with us.
Yeah.
Participants, the session is open for question and answer. You can write your questions in the chat box, or else you can unmute and ask questions directly to the resource person. Thank you. Ask your questions. Session is opened for question and answer. Or else you can type in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm sorry, like a few of you have experienced poor internet connection, might be my session as well. Okay. Somebody has asked, Omadul Mondal has asked, ma'am, is exam fever is the effect of psychoneuroimmunology? Yes, for sure. Exam fever is due to that. So how can you overcome that? You can, if you are preparing from the beginning itself, yes, for your exams, just prepare your everyday portions. You will not have so much of accumulations for the last day, so you will not be experiencing the exam fever. So that is the effect of the stress. Yes. And how can hypertension, headaches, and migraines can be differentiated? Both arise from stress and have similar symptoms. Yeah, there are some, whenever we are having or experiencing any diseases or symptoms, there will be various reasons for that. But some of the reasons you can really come out with. Yes, let me share with you mm, point in this. Actually, I was having severe headaches during the previous year. By the time when I noticed, I could found that like it was like mm, what is it? I didn't drink sufficient water. That was one reason. And there was so much of tensions or work to be done or pressure over me. So that was the reason. When I shared those pressures and uh, things with my friends, I got relieved. So if at all I don't get relieved from that, then I have to check for my vision or spec power of my eye, or I have to consult a doctor. Initially, you can try by taking the food that will be suiting you, or you can drink sufficient water. You can go for a short walk. You can don't have pent up feelings in you. Then even then, if you are experiencing that, then you can go for consultation with doctors. Yes. Thank you.
One more question is there, ma'am. Generally, meditation is done to keep mind calm and get positive thoughts. But you said, ma'am, like holding negative thoughts and
Yes.
doing meditation would lead to more negative thoughts. So,
Yes.
how to overcome negative thoughts?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the negative thought, when you are sitting, you will think all negative accumulations coming up. So, if at all, in between night, if I am waking up, I could, all on a sudden, something negative flashbacks to me. Immediately, I will get up, wake up from my bed. I will not sit idle. I will start working. When I am working with something, that may be a physical, or I may be working in my computer, or I may be reading some paper, then the mind will get the channelized to some other aspect. When you are going with that, then it becomes what is it? Yeah, we will be overcoming that. After that, reading is a very good medicine for sleep, yes, to relieve insomnia. And if we are reading with concentration, then we will feel sleepy. Then if we go and sleep, you are going to get a sound sleep. So we shouldn't actually meditate with negative thoughts. Whenever negative thoughts come to us, just we can tell us, don't mind, please. We should not encourage our mind to travel in the negative thoughts. So if we are doing that, then it is we are going to get yeah, it is we will be coming out of it. There is some one of you wanted to me to share the slide on
Yeah, like
negative, yeah, lonely versus social
lonely
person.
versus social
Yeah,
immune system response.
yeah, immune system response. So this is the particular slide. This slide is being drawn by us to explain it from a review article. So, yeah, this too. Okay. So, this is telling that they have studied the genes, and among the in the both lonely persons and sociable person. How can you study the genes? We can isolate the RNA, and then we can check for the expression pattern of the genes, various genes. And two sets of genes variations was being experienced. One, you can actually group the genes. whether they are inflammatory genes or antiviral genes. Antiviral genes, that means when there is a virus attacking a person, the immune response elevates or is involved with some of or works with some set of genes. That set of genes has been seen more in the case of the uh, what is it, sociable person, a person who has been with a social group, relaxing, and with children, maybe with a peer group, like that. But some persons, they are brooding over themselves, they are alone. In their case, when that was seen, inflammatory genes was elevated. So this inflammatory genes, when it was this inflammatory genes are being seen high, this is responsible for major of the diseases. Okay. Okay, what is the major yeah,
One,
yes, ma'am.
as we have seen the impact of psychoneuroimmunology on herpes virus,
Yes.
EBV, that how the CD count is increasing. Is there any work which is done same on SARS virus?
Okay.
That
The
is a
I
major
don't
question.
Epstein. Yeah, I don't think there are works
EBV.
with SARS virus. But this in Epstein-Barr virus, it has been seen. This work is there, and Epstein-Barr virus. That virus is capable of hiding in a person and living for some time. For 5 years, 10 years, it can live in us without expressing the disease. But afterwards, when our system gets low, yeah, that is due to exam pressures, when they are getting, then they will be this disease is boosting out. So that has been seen.
One more question. What is the major difference in response of stress among animals and humans?
Okay, the animals major difference might be, animals will handle the present stress, not the past stress and future stress. But we are handling the stress of the past and the future rather than handling the present. That may be my answer.
One more appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. Session was very informative.
Okay.
One more question. Many times dealing with a young child of 4 years, my daughter-in-law becomes angry. So is it a general not true, or she can control her anger? Any method you suggest for that?
Okay, okay. So, yeah, handling small children is really a difficult task, and children will be handled much better by the mothers than the mother-in-law. Why? Because our mother means the daughters, yeah, the mother. Yes, through that way, she can actually handle, because she will think she is doing it for the sake of her daughter. Otherwise, if the daughter is going to suffer, so she will think that grandchild as also her own daughter or son, and then only treat that. So there is much you can do some emotional blackmailings, like you can gift some things. Whenever you are with them, you can appreciate their help. You can tell, really, without you I can't go to work, or I can't study. Some small appreciations, everybody like appreciation, so you can really appreciate them for their contribution in you. And so other than that, that is not genetical in nature. That is something to deal as a personal deal.
One more question that is same as you have explained before.
Yes.
The participant didn't listen, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So how to manage? That's what if the negative thought one person is having means when they do meditation, it will aggravate or what? That is what. Like once more, the same
Yes.
question is asked.
Yeah. Once more, I can answer it for you. If you get a negative thought, immediately stop it. Stop it to your mind, and you go and do some other work. And then afterwards, you can come and continue with your meditation if you want. Even if you are standing in front of the God praying, if you get a negative thought, stop that activity. Go and do some physical activity, some gardening, do something, go out in the sun, go have a walk, then come back, you will be all right. Or otherwise, best exercise will be take your subject book and read. You will be all right.
One more question. This is, I don't know whether can be answer to this. Which are the genes which are controlling the stress related to the thinking and about the present and the future in humans?
Okay, so you can,
Genes in
there should, yeah,
yeah, this is
cannot in science, but
very very
we can't tell. I cannot tell for 100%. There is nothing like that in science. Anything will be identified in the near future, but till now there is no exact set of genes that are identified. But that is all about our training, how we are getting it. Yes, training, how we are getting. Enjoy the small moments around you. If you are with a child, play with the child. If you are in a music class, play the music. If you are in your garden, watch the flowers. If you are in your yeah, some parks, you just listen to the birds. So you will be in the present. You will tend to forget your past and future.
appreciation. Excellent session, ma'am. Thank you. One participants have given. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other questions? Participants, do you have any questions? Okay. Thank you so much for wonderful talk. Very nicely explained the topic. There was much connection between everybody thinks that there is no connection between mind and body. Both are separate, but both are most important. Stress, how much stress is having impact over our immune system. Nicely explained. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you so much, participants, for your patient listening and questioning interaction. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Thank you.